This is the brand new Bauer 3000 psi electric pressure washer available at Harbor Freight. They just got these things in. Again, guys, I had to go to my local store and ask for it. It was still in the back, not even out on the floor yet. So today we're gonna be unboxing this thing, checking out exactly what it comes with, testing the numbers, seeing what the actual usable PSI and GPM are to see if this thing is worth it. And big news, this is going to be day 2 of my Christmas giveaway series. So all you have to do, like, comment, and share the video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Also go to my Instagram for a chance to win there as well. I just kind of accumulate everything. Just make sure to comment and share the post there as well, and you're entered for your chance to win. But first, we need to give away the day 1 giveaway, right? I announced it the other day, and that is the Max Shine M312 3-inch polisher, along with 3 packs of the Grant's polishing pads available at Harbor Freight as well. So, did a whole random selector. I have the comment on my phone here, and the winner is Dan Beer 4452. Congratulations to you. They said this video couldn't come out at a better time. DIYer doing my first full paint correction next week. So awesome, good luck with that. Don't overcomplicate it, I'm sure it'll come out great. And now you will also have a 3-inch polisher to get those tighter spots. So congratulations. Just send me an email to joshv@dtlrsupply.com. Send me your information and we'll get that thing out to you. Now this new pressure washer is coming in at a price point of $350, $349.99 or something like that. So let's go ahead and touch on exactly what we are to expect out of this, what the actual ratings are on it and what it comes with, and then we'll go ahead and unbox it and we'll start testing. I'm probably not gonna assemble the whole thing because the plan is to give this away, so I want to be able to get it all back in the box, and I'm assuming it has to be unassembled for that. But here we go. So this unit has a brushless 14.5 amp electric motor, professional spray gun with metal wand and quick connect coupler for quick and easy nozzle changes, a high flow maintenance-free pump with auto start stop feature, 25-foot non-marring high pressure hose, foam padded handle, and 12-inch flat-free wheels, extra long 35-foot power cord, built-in storage, and a 1-gallon detergent tank. Now again, guys, you know I don't use the detergent tanks because that detergent will flow all the way through the hose, and I don't want to do that, right? I want to make sure that that hose stays nice and clean, because if I'm washing something and I put soap through that hose, now I go to rinse, well, there's residual soap left in that hose. So I always use a foam cannon that attaches right to the head of the gun. That way it keeps the whole line clean. All right, let's go ahead and pop it open and see what we got. All right, guys, so here is the gun unit, right? So basic 2 pieces, nice brass insert. Just stick it in there, twist it down, and get it all nice and tight. Now, the extension lance here does come with a turbo nozzle installed on it already, which is a nice little feature, and easy storage for them while they were shipping it. Let me get this tightened down real quick. Now, the turbo nozzle does pop right off. It's a basic quick connect, and then we do have our other nozzles still. On the gun, though, I'm not a huge fan of this style, where this is just one whole block. I don't know, it just feels cheap to me personally. The overall quality of the gun seems okay, but that's just, I don't like it. But you do have this little red button here. Just go ahead and push that in. Okay, and it should, well, let's see here. It should be our lockout mechanism, I believe. There we go. I think that does it. There we go. Now we cannot compress the trigger for storage, and then you don't have to worry about it accidentally spraying. Come back to the other side, push it back again, and you're good to go. Now, as far as the hose goes, it is an M22 style connection. I don't know if this is an M22 by 14 or an M22 by 15 yet, but we will test that here shortly. Quality of the hose, let's just try and get it to kink. It kinks, but it's not, I mean, it's not gonna be the most flexible thing in the world, but it doesn't have a crazy amount of memory for the kink. So it's a decent hose. Definitely not one of my favorites. It's gonna, like I said, it's probably gonna be pretty cumbersome, and we'll see that when we fire it on. But I don't know, it's better than some of the others for sure. Moving on to some of the tips they give us. Again, here's some of the storage components and all of that. This is on the back piece that would mount here, and I am not going to mount it, again, just because I'm gonna be giving this thing away and shipping it. But let's go ahead and check the nozzles. We got a 15, a 25, a 40, and then just soap. This is basically, you might as well just not even use a nozzle. They're just wide open in there. So that's fine. Let's see, the 15 is a Let's see here. It says 15012. So is that a 1.2? I don't know. Let's see here. That's the 15. Let's see if this one says 25012. Okay, 25014. And this one is a 40014. So those numbers, I'm guessing that the 40 and the 25 are going to be the same size orifice, so we should get the same PSI and GPM out of those ones. But the 15 degree is slightly smaller, so we will get more PSI from that, probably less GPM though. Now when we come over to the unit, the pump on the front for this type of machine looks nice. Everything looks good. Here's your total stop mechanism here. You have your water inlet here, water outlet here on the same side. I always talk about that. I prefer having it on one side or the other, especially for a machine that gets moved around. So that's more of an inline thing. Just because with this, you're going to be battling two hoses on the same side, but not the end of the world. Again, the soap dispenser up front, something that I never use or test. We have the power cord there and these never flat tires because there's no air in them. And it's a rubberized piece. It's kind of like a hard plastic slash rubber piece, and it feels pretty good actually. Like there's actually some grip to it too, so that's nice. And then on the top we have our toggle on off switch. All right guys, so I'm unraveling the hose right now, and as you can see it wants to stay curled up, so it's just, again, not the most pleasurable thing to work with, and I do recommend getting a longer hose anyway. I much rather use a 50-foot hose. I always use the Uberflex hoses. I think they're phenomenal, super flexible, lightweight, 50 feet long. This one, okay, let's see. It's not kinking. This is not, again, not bad, right? There's been way worse hoses than this. It's just a bit cumbersome, but it's not kinking. And then when I try and get it to roll over on itself, it does, right? Let me see if that'll focus better for you. It does. And a little bit of memory in there, but not bad, guys. Overall, it's a decent quality hose. It's just not the most flexible. So now it's time to hook this thing up to some power and water and start testing it to see what we can get out of this. All right, guys, so we're all set up. I have the unit plugged in. I need to get the nozzle for it really quickly, but before I want to do that, I have the water on. Everything's going through the system. I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger. We're gonna let the water flow through the system, get the air bubbles out, right? Because we don't want any air bubbles in the line. So we'll do this for a minute. I have my gauge here, so we'll be able to test the PSI. And again, we're gonna be testing the PSI using the factory nozzle. And then I also have a 2.5 and a 3.0 to test. All right, guys, so the first nozzle we're gonna test is the 15-degree nozzle, factory nozzle it came with. One thing that I noticed about the machine is that it does take a little bit of time to ramp up to full power, which I personally don't like. Here, I'll just show you right here, and then I'll show you up close as well, but here we go. Now we're at full power. So it takes a little bit. It's kind of like the Greenworks jet flow technology that they have, similar kind of thing. I will say the unit is nice and quiet though. All right, we're gonna check the amps now with this 15-degree factory nozzle. Fire it on. So it basically maxed out around 13.79. Here's the unit up close so you can hear the ramp up. I'm gonna pull the trigger. Again, just not my favorite. All right, let's go ahead and check the PSI now. I got my gauge here. So it's kind of floating around 25 to 2600 PSI. Let me go ahead and show you. So that's pretty good. I mean, within a percentage range of the 3000 listed. And again, as these things break in over time, the more you use them, things start to get a little more production out of it. So you'll will get 2700, 2800 PSI out of it over time. Now let's go ahead and switch to the 25 degree. Again, this one's supposed to be I think it's a larger orifice. All right, we're bouncing between 22 to 2300. And again, guys, you can see the back pressure is loaded up to that 3000 PSI, basically, 2800 actually. But when we pull the trigger, we do get different numbers. Here we go. Yeah, fluctuating right between 22 and 2300. Now really quickly, we're gonna switch to the 40-degree factory nozzle. And then I'll let you know what the amp rating is with this one. As long as it's the same PSI as the other one, then you'll know for the both of them. Yeah, exact same thing. So let me get the amp rating for you. All right, so we maxed out at 13.86, which I think is higher than the other one, which doesn't make sense. Usually with the smaller orifice, it would go higher. So maybe I missed it on the first one. Maybe it's actually a little bit higher. But for the GPM, the gallons per minute rating test, I'm only gonna be using the 40 degree here. I know that the yellow one, the 15 degree, got a little bit more PSI, but we can just assume the GPM is gonna be slightly less than what we get with this one. Again, when we get into the GPM, it's really for rinsing things away anyway, so the 40 degree makes sense there. And then obviously we'll test that with the other aftermarket nozzles I have as well, the 2.5 and the 3.0. But before we get into the GPM, let's go ahead and test the PSI with those aftermarket nozzles right now. Let me find the 2.5 right here. And let's see, guys, I believe this thing's an induction motor. So typically, a lot of times, they're tuned for whatever nozzles they're coming with. This one does seem to have that. Again, I don't know who makes this, but if it's like the Greenworks where they have that jet flow technology, it kind of adjusts using a little computer inside to optimize for the nozzle. So we'll see. Typical induction motors though take an absolute dive off the cliff. Let's see what this one does. All right, 1400 PSI. All right, I'm a little confused. That one got up to 13.97. So again, higher than the other ones. Again, usually the larger the orifice, the less draw on the machine. So I don't know what's going on with that. But whatever, that's what it is. Still safe numbers though for the machine, no problem there. Moving on to the 3.0 orifice nozzle. All right, and we're sitting at 1200 with this one. 1200 PSI. So you know what? I have a 3.5 nozzle. Let me see what that does too, because if we can up that GPM, this thing might be great. Well, let's see. All right, 3.5 orifice. I usually run my pressure washer for car detailing. I want the most GPM I can get. And as long as it's above a certain number, that GPM, the balance depends on the PSI as well, but my PSI is usually between 1,000 and 1,100. So let's see here. All right, so this one's kind of leveling. It gets up to 1,000 and levels back down to about 950. Again, this is a 3.5 orifice nozzle. Pretty slow ramp up though, slower than before. So there you go. Let me check the amp meter on this. And there you go, we're sitting at 12.09. And then you let off the trigger and it jumps up. So I think it's just the thing trying to calibrate that makes it sit higher. This thing's operating around the 12 amps though. Watch how long this takes to start though. Let me pull the trigger. That one wasn't bad, hang on. I'm gonna do it again right away. Trigger is pulled, guys. Trigger is pulled. So the numbers I'm liking so far, however, that ramp up, especially on this 3.5 orifice nozzle, that took a long time. I don't know what the deal is with that. If that doesn't bother you, then who cares? But let's go ahead and check the GPM now with all of these. So the factory nozzle, 2.5, 3.0, and the 3.5. All right, guys, so as always, we're gonna take my bucket here, we're gonna weigh this so that we can deduct it from the total weight once it's full with water. So we're gonna have it in ounces, putting the bucket on the scale. We're at 36 ounces, 36 ounces. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna run the machine into the bucket for 1 minute. Now I know that there's gonna be a slight discrepancy because there's that ramp up time before it gets to full power. However, we're just gonna base it off that, assume a little bit more than what it gives us right off the bat, but let's start off. That's the 3.0. This one is the factory nozzle. We're gonna start off with that one. All right, and here we go. There is 1 minute, guys. So I'm gonna leave the lid on it because that's exactly how it was when I weighed it out the first time. We're gonna go ahead and throw it on the scale and then we will deduct the, what was it, 36 ounces, I believe? It doesn't feel very heavy here, just to be honest. We are at 169. So that's 133 ounces of just water weight. But with the calculation, this is coming to 0.996. So that rounds up to exactly 1 gallon per minute. Now again, this machine is rated at 1.1 gallons per minute, so we're not totally far off, right? We're getting, I think it was maxed out at 2600 PSI and 1 gallon per minute with the included nozzles. But now let's go ahead and start testing the other nozzles for the flow and see what we can get out of it, because the PSI ranges stayed pretty good. All right guys, next up is the 2.5 orifice. Once again, same exact thing. I emptied out the bucket, so we're cleared out for that. Let me get the stopwatch ready and we'll get this going. All right, and here we go. Sitting at 1450 PSI with this one. All right, there's 1 minute. Wow, guys, that increased us a ton. So that was getting 1400-ish PSI. That increased us to 1.46 gallons per minute. So I'm very, very hopeful moving up in these orifice sizes that we're gonna keep the PSI and get a really good GPM. So let's see. All right, moving on to the 3.0 orifice. Again, 1 minute in the bucket, here we go. Settled in at 1250 PSI. There's 1 minute. Let's see what we've got here. This is, I mean, again, guys, I'm pretty shocked at the number we got already with that 2.5 orifice nozzle. So let's see what we get with this 3.0. All right, now at 1250 PSI, we're getting 1.605 GPM, 1.6 GPM. All right, and last but not least, we're gonna switch over to the 3.5 orifice. Okay, good to go. In the bucket, and here we go. Yeah, guys, we're sitting right at exactly 1,000 PSI. 1,000 PSI. All right, there's 1 minute. Final test here for flow. All right, guys, so that increased this a little bit, not as much as I was hoping, but still not bad at all. So we were getting 1,000 PSI and we're getting 1.67 gallons per minute. So, man, if you need an all-around unit, this is a great choice. You can get that really high PSI and then still have it fluctuate and work well when you open up that orifice to drop the PSI, but get more flow. So I'm pretty happy with it. All right, guys, so there you have it. The new Bauer 3000 PSI 1.1 GPM unit from Harbor Freight performed better than I was expecting it to be perfectly honest. So I'm happy because I already announced I'm giving this thing away. If it wasn't good, I would have felt bad, but it is good. I like it a lot, actually. So also, I did want to remind you guys, I'm trying to do a special giveaway on or a special promotion on my site as well, along with these giveaways. You have a new pressure washer. Foam cannon is a great thing to have for that. The MJJC foam cannon, this is the Pro V2, is my favorite. The SV3 also right there with it. I love both of them. 20% off on my site if you want to get an MJJC foam cannon. Just use code DAY2. No spaces or anything, just DAY2. Day 2 will get you 20% off the MJJC foam cannons. But that's it for today's video, guys. Please make sure to like the video, make sure you're subscribed. Again, share this video and comment and all that for your chance to win. Also go over to my Instagram for additional chances. But that'll do it for today's video, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.